This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
Good evening. Thank you for joining the To Hull and Back podcast, and we're back for another opposition preview, this time with a fan from Huddersfield, or I don't know whether you're from Huddersfield, but you certainly support Huddersfield. Do you want to introduce yourself, Tom, if I can unmute you? Well, we're having technical difficulties there, so I'll just keep going for a bit longer. We're sponsored by 6 Yards Out and Pearson's Bar. Thank you very much to everyone who's voted for us as the best EFL podcast so far in 2022's Football Content Awards. And we've also got a new merch store on It's a Funny Old Game, and you can use the code H&B10 for 10% off the website. And if you want to get a To Hull and Back chopping board mat sort of thing, then you can go right ahead and use that link. Right, hopefully our guest is back. Hello.
Oh, hiya, mate. I'm really... I've got to apologise in advance. I'm currently on a train, so I might dip in and out. But yeah, if we get this done as quick as possible, the better, I think. Just for anyone listening.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Tom. You'll have to remind me, what's the name of your... Oh, no, it's... from the Huddersfield fan podcast, He Takes That Chance. Is that right? Right.
Yeah,
so
it's not Andy takes that chance, and he takes that chance.
Yeah. Well, it would be better if it was a player called Andy, but as you said...
There's a bit of a lag there, sorry, mate.
Well, that's okay. This is definitely the most interesting backdrop we've had from one of the guests so far, but we'll keep on. So was it Danny Schofield, the manager, that's just been sacked, and Mark Fotheringham has come in? What are your thoughts on the Huddersfield managerial situation at the moment?
Yeah, so Danny, a bit of a town legend, didn't really get the time that maybe he could have got. Was it 9 games or something? And he's been given the boot. Really tough circumstances. Carlos Corberán basically made a right mess over the summer, leaving us. Fotheringham, kind of. I'm a little first heard it. I was Luton the other night, which might suggest that.
Yeah, we've lost him.
He could be an interesting for the rest of the season.
So you mentioned Carlos Corberán there. How upset were you to see him go? It's not going very well at all. Apologies, everyone. Hopefully he comes back soon. But yeah, that's the sort of thing we're going to expect on a train. Hull City fans will know about Corberán, of course, because he seems to be one of the managers that a lot of Hull fans want to replace Shota Arveladze. And of course, he had a fantastic season last year with Huddersfield Town. They got to the playoff final, very surprisingly, and really they probably should have won that game. There were 2 big VAR decisions that went against them. So, it's surprising that he left, perhaps, but Huddersfield don't have the biggest budget. So hopefully this season they haven't spent money either, and they've sold players, those Toffolo and O'Brien to Nottingham Forest. So they're probably a team we could be looking to beat, but especially without Corberán, and I don't really know much about Danny Schofield, the manager who just left, or Mark Fotheringham. I don't know where our guest has gone. Hopefully they're back soon. If not, maybe I should end the broadcast here. But well, I'll just go over my notes, and if he does come back, then we can enjoy that. So I don't really know who the danger man for Huddersfield Town is going to be, other than perhaps the obvious one, Sorba Thomas. And one of the main reasons why Huddersfield got to the playoff final last season, a wonder of a left or a right foot. He was one of the top assisters last season, the Welshman, the winger. So I'm hoping he's injured for Sunday's game. I don't know whether he's going to be. He's definitely the danger man to watch out for. And then looking at their transfers, they've made a lot. I don't really know much about them. Hull City was linked with the former Ipswich striker Tyrese Simpson. That has gone to Huddersfield. But really, I don't think he's pulled up any trees. But I think they've made a fair few, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think maybe 10 transfers. There was a lad, Kessler Hayden, on loan from Aston Villa. I don't know whether he's played an awful lot. And our guest is back. Hello again, Tom. I've just been rambling about the transfers, but if you want to go back to...
Oh, mate, I'm so sorry about this.
That's okay. If you're ready, just talk about the new manager, Mark Fotheringham. Yeah, because I don't think he's a well-known name.
Can you hear me, mate?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the new manager?
I wouldn't say he's too experienced when you look into where he's been. A lot of time in Germany, a lot of work as an assistant coach.
Mm-hmm. How is he? What's his?
A lot of time in Germany, a lot of time as assistant coach. I think there's a delay, mate. Sorry.
Yes, there is. Just keep going.
Right. Can you hear me now, mate? Sorry about this.
I can hear you. And he's gone again. I don't know whether we're going to be able to keep going with this, but I'll just finish up what I know about the Huddersfield transfers, which is very little. I know they brought in Boyle, the centre-half from Cheltenham, who's played about 4 matches. So really, I don't think they've spent as much as we have this summer. We'll just try one last time. Can you hear me, Tom?
Yeah, we're going to go for this one more time.
Let's just try one more time, and if not,
Yeah.
I'll just finish up my notes and I'll do a prediction,
Yeah, sure,
and then we'll finish it there.
Right. So, briefly, Fotheringham, time in Germany. I think quite a gamble given the situation we're in, near the bottom of the table. I would have maybe preferred someone a bit more experienced. There was a bit to like about what happened against Luton there. There's a lot of fight in that game. The one thing I was really impressed with was you don't normally hear another manager outshout Nathan Jones. And that's what Fotheringham was doing on the sidelines. So that's something that I'd give him kudos for. So I don't know. I think the thing we really wanted Danny Schofield to do well, because he's a bit of a town legend, cult hero, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's just the way we are at the moment. We do with us players what we do with us managers, pretty much bring in unknowns and then see what happens. And we're kind of trying to follow that German model still as well. So yeah. I can't really say too much though so far. I mean, there was some positives from Luton, but that's about it.
How upset were you to see Corberan go? Because was he the main part of why you did so well last season?
That is an interesting one because I don't know if I was super upset about it. It was more disappointment because it was a bit of the thing with Town is we take one pretty big step forward and about 10 back. That seems to be the way we work, that's the disappointment of it. I think Colbrand was good. I think I'm one of those fans who was in the bracket of I liked he got results, but the football wasn't too brilliant, and maybe you could just put it down to we had a very, very good defensive record last season, and that was the reason that we were in and around those playoffs for most of the season. Because it wasn't like we scored a bundle of goals either. So yeah, I mean, you can see it already this season how many we've conceded, and the difference that almost the similar back four minus Levi Colwell are showing is disappointed is the word for Corbrand's departure, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, what have you made of Huddersfield Town's transfers this season? Because it's interesting you said the defence has been poor, because the way I'm looking at it, you've signed a lot of defenders. So who are some of the standouts you've signed, or have they all been very poor?
I don't think they've been poor. Maybe it's that they need to gel together. So Nakayama, the Japanese lad, I really rate him. He got a bit of fight, he gets stuck in. Helik is someone who I think makes you excited because of how good he was at Barnsley, given how poor they were last season. He's not had the best start, but I think if he maybe, I think he needs game time because he kind of sat out most of pre-season for Barnsley. So the lad from City, I think he's too raw, he's too young, he's struggled the last couple of games. Then who else we brought in? Kasumu from Milton Keynes, I really like him, but he's going to be out against you because he got a red card against Luton the other night. And then Jack Rudoni, I quite like how he looks as well. He's quite a forward playing kind of player who doesn't mind getting stuck in as well, and he's coming from Wimbledon this season.
Mm-hmm. So who is the main danger man? Because at the moment I've written down Sorba Thomas, but is there anyone else maybe less well known to opposition fans that you should be scared of?
But I think that's about it, mate. Sorry, I don't know if I cut out a bit then.
Is Sorba Thomas any good? I don't know whether you can hear me, but
I think I'm listening, mate. Can you just repeat that?
I'll ask the question again. Who are the main danger men for Huddersfield Town, and is it mainly just Sorba Thomas?
Against Luton it was because we scored we scored two goals directly from his assist from a corner, and then we got a penalty from one of his assists basically. But I think hopefully Luton was a turning point for Sorba because he has not hit the heights he did last season. I would say, I mean, Tino Angerin is a good player, but I think he's out at the moment. Dwayne Holmes has got a bit of spark about him at the moment. I mean, he's always going to run at you, get stuck in. And then, I mean, Lee Nichols is such a big player. He keeps you in games, you know what I mean? If he's having a good game, you're maybe only going to score, one. Do you know what I mean? It's up there.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably our most important player at the moment, especially given how poor the defence has been.
Yeah. So, how do you see the game going on Sunday? Do you think the new manager will have a bit of a bounce, or do you think is that new manager bounce gone? Because I know they won their first match without Schofield.
Very well.
How do you see the game going on Sunday?
Mate,
do you
sorry.
think? Yeah, I think maybe I'll keep going.
I was just going. I think it'll be tight. I quite fancy us to at least push for the win on Sunday. To be personally, I just think from what I saw Tuesday night, I think they're really up for it, and you're kind of hoping for that new manager bounce, even if it's just short term. Do you know what I mean? And with you guys, without an official manager at the moment, maybe it's kind of the right time to play you. I think if we can obviously keep your front lads quiet, then we're in with a chance, because you're up there with us conceding quite a few this season. So if anything, there should be goals on Sunday, shouldn't there?
Yeah, it should definitely be a goal frenzy, perhaps, with the way both defences have been. So yeah, I'll just last two things. What's the Huddersfield Town lineup going to be, and your final score prediction for Sunday's game?
So you probably have Lee Nichols in net, and then I'm probably going to say they'll play back three of Lee's, Helic, and then I'm hoping Nakayama, but he might put Mbete in again. Then he started playing Thomas as wing back, which he did really well last season. I personally prefer him there. And then on the other side, you will have maybe Turton will be dropped in. Then in the middle is probably going to be Kasumu's out, so that'll be interesting. Whether you're hoping Hoggy's in there maybe, and he's going to be in there with the young lad Etienne Kamara. Actually, Ben Jackson played against Luton really well. He's another a youth player who would probably play fullback. And then, who else you can have? Then your front two, he played Ward and Rhodes up front on Tuesday night, which was quite nice to see. And then in front of...
Oh, he's gone again. Well, I mean, I don't know whether he's going to come back with a prediction, but I think maybe it's best to leave it at that. But if you're watching this again, thanks for coming on, Tom. Sorry about... Oh, here he is. I'll just get him to say his last few words. Do you want to just do a final score prediction, and then we'll wrap it up? If you can hear me,
sorry
do a prediction.
about this today.
That's okay.
It was the only way I was getting on, but I'm actually gonna go 2-1 Town. I think maybe even 3-2. It might even be 4-3. It might be a crazy one. The way both of our defences have been.
Yeah, I think it certainly could have a lot of goals in it. I might go for... I think we've sort of turned a corner with the win on Wednesday. I think we might be able to win 2-1, but I'm going, so hopefully it's an exciting game and I get my money's worth. Thanks for very much for coming on, Tom. I'm sorry all about the
4-3 Huddersfield.
4-3 Huddersfield. I mean, it could well be. I hope it would be 4-3 City, but yeah, thank you very much for coming on.
4-3 to Huddersfield, mate. Yeah. There we go.
Shame about the signal, but maybe we'll get you on, at home for the return fixture in a few months. But thanks for coming on and thanks for joining the episode.
Yeah.